How good did it feel to get the running game going the last 2 games, and just what's kind of been the difference from that South Florida game?
Yeah, no, I mean, we always love to get the run game going, especially early, especially see that second half of the last game. I think the big thing with getting a run game going is the mentality up front. You know, we always talk about taking care of the first level first, and that's with, you know, our heavy double teams that you see on film or just even on live TV. We take pride in those. We always take pride in, you know, finishing a guy up front before considering going up to the second level, and just, you know, letting whatever team we're going against know that the Broncos are in town.
Did coaches tell you at halftime that you were going to be that run heavy in the second half, or was that just something that, as the game went on, you're like, okay, I guess we're doing this?
It was more so the second one. It was we just got out there, started calling runs, and just kept calling runs, and we were like, all right, let's do this. We were excited for it.
How great has it been to see Dylan, just with everything he's gone through, just get, you know, have the last 2 weeks he's had?
Yeah, I'm so proud of him. I mean, like you said, the stuff that he's gone through and the amount of work that he has done to just be where he is now, and to even just be mentally here in the first place, to even be on the team still with what he's gone through. I don't know how I could go through with that, and he has pushed through, and not only is he like on the team and still practicing, he is having an amazing season, and I'm just so proud of him for all of that.
Was there a special message to the offensive line? Because you guys obviously dominated, but what was just the group's message, maybe first half, second half?
Yeah, I mean, first half you see, obviously we had those penalties. Second half, going to the locker room, we realized, hey, we are the unit that's holding the team back. And, you know, like you said, we were still being physical. We were still executing, but, like, we were getting those holding calls, the false starts, and we just had to realize, hey, if we want to dominate this game, not just win, if we want to dominate, we have to be better. We are capable of being better, and that's what you saw in the second half.
Even today, I know the penalties at times are still kind of coming up a little bit. I know Coach Keene obviously doesn't enjoy seeing that, I guess I'll say. What just how much emphasis, I guess, is there on cleaning that part up?
Yeah, no, there's a big emphasis. I think the big thing we're talking about right now is finding ways to slow the game down, and that's, you know, it's easy to say, but it's something that you have to actually accomplish, and that starts with like team meetings, O-line meetings. You know, you're just seeing the front, calling the plays, and you know, you get some guys who are quiet, and you're like, okay, I don't know how they're gonna do on the field. But then the thing we're emphasizing this week is everybody is talking in the meetings, and since everybody's talking, they're becoming more and more confident. And I believe in our guys. Like, you know, there are still going to be some mess ups. Everyone messes up. I mess up sometimes. But the amount of work that they're putting in, I believe that we'll get them all fixed.
What about for you? I know last year you only had 1 penalty the whole season. I mean, that's obviously something that's. How are you able to not have those issues like everybody else is?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a lot with slowing the game down. I mean, I'm blessed to have a lot of reps under my belt to be able to, you know, realize, okay, I don't need to be all tense in my stance before the ball is snapped. You know, I just have to be tense right when I hear the cadence. And so that's a big part for me.
What were the issues in the first half, do you think, with the penalties? Was it just a case of them snowballing one after the other? Or?
Yeah, I think that, and like I was saying, slowing the game down. I think, you know, we've had some problems with the false starts. Those were getting fixed. And the holdings, you know, we talked about it. You just got to keep your hands inside and move your feet. And that was a lot of, like, especially in the past game, that was a lot of our holdings. And so we're getting those fixed. And I'm really happy with how our guys are handling that this week, too.
I don't know how often an offensive lineman can steal the spotlight on a 75-yard touchdown. Mm-hmm. But what was that play like through your eyes?
That was awesome. I mean, we've been practicing that all week. Repped it probably 5 times in like live-ish tempo. Never turned out nearly as good as that. That was absolutely astonishing with how that play went. I remember I was running down, turned back, and I see the Will linebacker, and he looks at me and starts redirecting, like, uh-oh, this play might be over. And then Chris comes in, has an amazing block. I come in, turn the corner, and I see the corner. I'm like, okay, this is about to be a good block. And I didn't even like finish. I didn't jump on him. I was so excited for the rest of the play. I just kept running down. You see me at the 10-yard line on film. I do like this little hop in the air because of how excited I am.
Was that
do you
was
have
that worth $300?
Very, very much so. Yeah.
Do you have a list of like favorite blocks you've made during your career? Do you kind of keep a list of them, or
I don't necessarily have like a list per se. That one's definitely up there. That one might be number one.
What are some of the other ones that you look kind of like through your career?
I mean, when I think about like best blocks, some of them aren't even pancakes. Some of them are just like driving a guy like 15 yards downfield. You know, I know there was even one. I just like to have fun with the game. There was even one, I think, second to last drive. Me and Jason Steele were doing a double team. I get rolled up on, and so I'm just literally on my knees looking up at the guy I'm blocking. I'm just smiling there.
That was this last game.
That was this last game. You can see it on film. My wife told me, she called me after the game. She was like, "Hey, I saw this play you got rolled up on. You should have been hurt, but you were just sitting there with the biggest smile on your face." And you know, it can be even stuff like that. Like just the love of the game for me is what makes it fun.
I'm sure you're focused more on the team, the wins, and all that. But I mean, you obviously had a nice start to the season, and there was a lot of, I don't know, hype, attention on you and coming in, just trying to live up to that, and get ready for the next level, whatever. But just to have the first 3 games you've had personally, how do you feel like you're playing?
I feel really good. I'm getting more and more confident every game, especially like the more reps I get with Jason. I'm feeling way more confident in him. You know, obviously I was never unconfident, but it's starting with a new guy to your right. It can always be hard, but he's done an amazing job. I'm super confident with him, and that has allowed me to play more confidently in what I'm doing. And I'm just having fun out there. It's been a great first 3 games.
Coach Danielson said championship teams know how to respond to adversity.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's from week 1 until now, even Maddox going down early in that game. How proud are you of this group of responding to adversity?
I'm so proud. I mean, the way we have handled the adversity. I mean, week 1 loss, came back, dominated at home. I mean, we've really set the tone. I mean, we've talked about it all year. Like, at some point, you're gonna get punched in the face, but how are you gonna respond to that? Because are you gonna take it, or are you gonna punch back harder? And I feel like that's something we've done a really good job at, and I'm super proud of how every single person on this team has handled all the adversity.
What are you seeing from App State's defensive line? I mean, they have 9 sacks through 3 games. I mean, what do you guys have to do to slow that down?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're really good. They stem the front a lot, and obviously, like we were saying with the false starts that we've had, we've made that a big emphasis as to every single play we're going to practice stemming the front, and to get used to that, and also the amount of movement that they have up front, the pressures that they bring, we'll be ready for it.
Getting back to that play once more, though, there's obviously plays that you want to be called, right? Where does that rank on the list of plays you want to be called? And then, how athletic do you have to be to do what you did on that play? I mean, you sold one thing and then got the hell out of there and picked up a cornerback. Those guys are quick and hard to hit, right? So
they're pretty quick.
Yeah. So I don't know where does that rank on plays you want to be called, and then how athletic do you have to be to pull that off?
Yeah. So we have an O-line test that we do the day before every game. For an away game, it was handed to us on the flight. We turned it in right after the flight. One of the questions on there is favorite play on the game plan, and that was mine. And it's one of those plays, like, you don't call it very often. We called it once that game, and it's one of those plays where you're just looking forward to it. It might have never been called, I don't know, but since it was, I was super excited for it. And then going to just the athleticism to get out there. I mean, it was hard. We were talking about it all week, how the DN's gonna trace down. I gotta sell mid zone really hard and then get out. I mean, it was pretty fun. Yeah.
What was your reaction to when you first saw the front porch of Idaho helmets?
Oh, those things are beautiful. I mean, I saw them on Instagram first, and then we went over at team meeting, and now it's sitting in my locker. Those things, they're awesome. The Capitol, the blue, the Bronco or Mustang on the side. I mean, all of that just combined, and it's like hand painted with an airbrush. I mean, it just looks amazing. I'm so happy to have that and be able to wear that.
You may have talked about this already. New guy, don't know. Do you guys have like a nickname for the offensive line group?
I mean, not really. We got trenches, I guess, but that's everyone. We don't really have a crazy nickname now.
How about for the running back group? I know that's kind of a big thing in football sometimes. You have Sonic and Knuckles, Thunder and Lightning. Do you have one for your running backs?
Yeah, I mean, Thunder and Lightning rings a bell in there. You get a few of them, but nothing too crazy. Just rolls off the top of the tongue every now and then.
How much have you found your voice as a leader, Kage?
Yeah, that's something that I've really worked on more recently, and especially going into this year. I've always thought like leading by example was enough, and I was always a more quiet guy, but I always wanted to be, okay, I'm on top of everything. I want guys to see that I'm on top of everything. I want guys to see that I'm doing extra work. But at some point, you also have to lead with your voice, and that's something I've realized this year, and have been trying to put myself out in more uncomfortable situations more and more. And it's been uncomfortable, like I said, getting out of my comfort zones to do that. But it's also been really fun because, I mean, A, you get closer to the guys, and B, you can truly see that I'm getting more confidence with not only speaking in front of groups, but just like leading the guys out there on the field and everything that I do.
I think I saw last week you were like corralling the guys over in the stairwell. Like what? I don't know. What was that about? I guess after practice.
Yeah, I mean, so I bring the guys up every now and then after practice. It could have been really good, like, hey guys, really good practice, let's keep it up. Could have been really bad. I don't exactly remember that one, to be honest, but yeah, I've been working on that.
Is this a habit you've made though? Try to get the guys to get. Do you always pick the stairwell or like?
Not necessarily always the stairwell, no.
Good.
Speaking of messages, what did you think of Rogers' pre-practice address?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. He is really good with his speeches. I mean, he's a guy I want to embody a lot. Roger, with his confidence, with the amount that he cares for the guys and is so willing to show it. I mean, he's someone like, I'd watch his back any day. Like, I'd fight for him any day, no matter what he's doing. Like, he's the glue guy on the team. Like, Roger, he cares so much for the team, and the team knows it, that we want to fight for him. I mean, that speech he had today really set the tone for practice, set the tone for how physical practice was going to be, and he did an amazing job.
I was gonna say, it seemed like today, like it just seemed like a good day for maybe the Tuesday practice, home game. Everyone's already looking at Notre Dame next week, whatever. I mean, it just seemed like that was kind of a good message for today.
Yeah, for sure.
Danielson said that the brotherhood at this university is what separates it with others. How would you kind of describe the brotherhood here?
100%. I mean, I think that it's what separates us from every other team in the entire nation, is how close and tight-knit we are. I mean, I don't just say it to say it. Like, I would die for every single person on this team. I mean, every single person, like, I'd consider them all of my best friends. I mean, every guy on this team, it means so much to me, and the amount of connection that we've built over these past few years, going on my 4th year here. I mean, I would not trade this for the world.
Well said.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
It's good.